This is the Red Line, and I'm your host, Jimmy Red. Thanks for tuning in. This is the fourth part to the four-part series of predictions. As I said on episode 3, this is the one I'm most excited about. This is the AFC and NFC South. We've already covered the AFC and NFC West, North, and East. You can catch all those predictions in the other three videos. Episode 1, 2, and 3 of this prediction show. So please make sure you check those out if you haven't. But with that being said, I am fired up about both of these conferences in the South. They got great teams. They got great stuff that I just can't wait to see. There's exciting quarterbacks, everything. And we're going to start with the AFC South. It's got my favorite team in it. I'm not a homer there, but it's a team I really like watching, like enjoying. I enjoy watching the Tennessee Titans play football. But they're in this conference, and they're in it with Jacksonville, Houston, and the Colts. Sorry, guys, but I got to have my Titans finishing last. Got the Titans coming in last in the division. I got them coming in 5-11 this year. Not a strong year for the Titans. They got a tough schedule. I mean, they start with Miami. They can beat Miami, I think. Miami's not too tough. Houston, tough. They got their quarterback back. Jacksonville, tough. Philly, tough. Buffalo, don't know the quarterback situation. If it's Nathan Peterman, W. If it's Josh Allen, the kid's got a cannon like it shows, could be an L. Then Baltimore, going to have a good defense, I think, this year, and I think their quarterback's going to step up as well. So I think that one's going to be tough. Then LA Chargers, that's going to be tough. I mean, that's just the first 7 weeks until they get into a bye week of tough schedules. So I think the Titans are going to have their hands full this year. Plus, Marcus Mariota gets hurt a little bit during the year, and we don't have much of a wide receiving core. Delaney Walker's about what we got there. If we lose Delaney Walker, we're in trouble. If we lose Marcus Mariota, we're in trouble. Our backup quarterback is, I forgot his name now. I just spaced it. Blaine Gabbert. Sorry, folks. Blaine Gabbert is the backup quarterback. So if he comes in, we all know he's not that great of a quarterback. We're really going to struggle. So I got the Titans finishing last in that division at 5-11. Just above them, I got a team that won the division last year that everybody thinks is going to be a little better than they are. And that is Jacksonville. Everybody's on Jacksonville's high horse still. I'm not so much on that. I think Blake Bortles is the worst quarterback in that division. I understand Marcus Mariota is below him there, but Marcus Mariota has less of a team. I think Blake Bortles is the worst quarterback in that division because the other quarterbacks that are in that division, you have Deshaun Watson, Andrew Luck, Marcus Mariota, and Blake Bortles. I think Bortles is the worst quarterback in that division. So there's one problem for them. They just lost their best wide receiver in Allen Robinson. They don't have him anymore. So where's he going? They still have Leonard Fournette, but Leonard Fournette can't run 1,000 times a game for you. So I think that's going to be a part of them. I think they'll figure out him on the running game. And then guess what they did? They named their defense. When you name your defense, you normally fall apart quick. Remember the Legion of Boom? Didn't last very long, did it? But then everybody says, oh, well, what about the Steel Curtain? I mean, they didn't come with that nickname until they were almost gone. So, I mean, okay. But still, my point is they created a defensive name. Jalen Ramsey's talking a lot of trash. Sorry, but I got to go with them finishing third in the division at 7-9, under 500 again. Plus, everybody says, no, they'll be better than that. Does everybody seem to forget that they got 4 easy wins last year? They beat Indianapolis twice. And they beat Houston twice because their quarterbacks were hurt. No Andrew Luck, so they used Jacoby Brissett. And they used Tom Savage in Houston because Deshaun Watson was hurt. But does everybody seem to remember that Tennessee played them twice as well, and they beat them twice? And I got them finishing last in the division this year, and they're going to be worse than them. So take away at least 2 wins from them, and they're going to fall. So I think they fall down to 7-9 this year. I don't think they're the team everybody makes them out to be, and I think Jacksonville takes that huge step back, seeing the 2-star quarterbacks step back into that division. Finishing second in that division, I have a team that I'm excited about, a kid that I'm really, really excited to see what this kid's NFL future holds. Not a huge fan of where he went to college at Clemson and Deshaun Watson, but I think it's going to be exciting there. They got J.J. Watt, Javion Clowney. Awesome defense. That's what you need. You need 2 awesome pass rushers on your team because if you can't get quarterback, you need pass rushers. That's how it works in the NFL. That's just how it is. And they got that. They got a quarterback and 2 defensive ends. So they are set in my mind. I'm really, really excited to see what they can do because they have a huge matchup week 1 against New England. I don't know if Deshaun Watson is starting that week yet. I'd love to see if he is, but I don't know if he is. Sorry, my phone was going off there with sports stuff. I don't know if he's starting there. Then they go to Tennessee, which I think they can win. I think then they go to New York, and they have maybe a hard game there. I think New York's going to be tough for them because New York's pretty good. Then Indianapolis, Dallas, Buffalo, Jacksonville. I think they have a pretty manageable schedule there. It's not too hard. I don't think Dallas has a great of a year. Buffalo, Indy will be tough. New York could be tough. Jacksonville, I think they're going to be down. Miami, Denver's going to be tough. But I think they go 9-7 because Houston's amazing. I think they're going to be good. And then, this is one that's going to shock everybody as well. I got Indianapolis winning that division. They got a new coach, and Frank Rick. So I think that's going to be awesome. So they got that new coach that's coming in. Plus, Andrew Luck is back, baby. The man himself, Andrew Luck, is back. And everybody seems to forget, when Andrew Luck was healthy, he took a dysfunctional organization to an AFC championship game. He also won 11 games each year he started. Andrew Luck is the deal. They also upgraded the offensive line for him. So he has a better offensive line. They drafted that number one kid, potentially the best player in the draft. The only reason they drafted him where they did is because he wasn't a tackle. He was a guard. And Quentin Nelson, the kid out of Notre Dame, I think he's the best athlete to come out. I think his bust potential is very low. So I think that was a great pickup by them. So excited to see what Indianapolis can do. Andrew Luck. They also got Marlon Mack in the backfield to start for them. So I'm excited to see what Marlon Mack can do, especially seeing that they got an offensive line now. So I want to see what that team can do. I got Indianapolis winning that division. I know it's a big shocker to everybody, but I got Indianapolis winning that division this year. And I think Indianapolis goes 10-6. And the reason I'm giving them double-digit win is because of Andrew Luck. That's the man right there. That is who carries that team. Andrew Luck carries that team to a 10-6 division. I'm excited for that one because that could go so many ways. I mean, look at that. It's a one-game, excuse me. It's a one-game difference between first and second. You got a 10-6 and a 9-7 team. That could be vice versa. It could be a tie. You don't know because that's going to be that good of a division. I am fired up about that division. I love it. I love it. I love it. But the one I'm most fired up about is the one on the NFC South side because that one has everybody's mind blown. And the reason that one's got everybody's mind blown is because there's 3 good quarterbacks in that division. 3 good teams for that matter, let alone just quarterbacks. One of them is suspended in Jameis Winston, and that being the NFC South. NFC South has Tampa Bay, it has New Orleans, it has Atlanta, Carolina. Obviously, everybody knows who's going to finish last in that division. No surprise who it's going to be. Tampa. Jameis suspended the first 3 games. When you're suspended the first 3 games, and the quarterbacks you have to face in this order are Week 1, Drew Brees. Week 2, you have to face Carson Wentz or Nick Foles, depending on who it's going to be at that time. And you have to face Big Ben. Your hands are tied. Probably going to start the season 0-3. 1-3 at best. 0-3 most likely. With that being said, season's done. You have an 8% chance to make the playoffs. So I think they're in trouble after that situation. Plus, Jameis, I don't think is all of that. I know they paid Mike Evans. Mike Evans is a great wide receiver. But I think they finished last in that division, and I think they only go 5-11. I give them 5 wins, but that's just because Jameis finds a way to do something, and I think there's a chance that Fitzpatrick can steal a game for him. Then I have the Saints. A lot of people don't like that one, but they seem to forget the last 2 years. The last 2 years the season has started, and the Saints have went 0-2. They started the season 0-2. I think it could happen again this year, folks. I know a lot of people don't think it could, but Tampa could come in and surprise you because we don't know what they got. Because Fitzpatrick used to be a starter. Then they got Cleveland. Cleveland's not the same team they were. Cleveland is way better than they were. I mean, they got Tyrod Taylor, who makes no mistakes hardly. You got Baker Mayfield. You got potentially the best wide receiving corps in football. Josh Gordon, who's medically suspended right now. You have Jarvis Landry. And you have all these other guys. You have 2 awesome defensive ends. You drafted this. Cleveland's not the same team. Trust me, folks. Cleveland's different. And they could lose to them. And then they go to Atlanta. So they're going to have a tough start to the year. And I think it's going to be hard to bounce back if you start 0-2, especially against Atlanta. Drew Brees is a good quarterback, owns a lot of records, but I don't know, man. They lost a few wide receivers. I mean, Willie Snead's not with them anymore. So I got to put them in third. I'm sorry. I got to put them in third at 9-7. They're in third at 9-7. There's still a shot to make the playoffs. Remember last year, 3 teams made the playoffs from this conference. 9-7, still a shot to get you into the playoffs in an NFC conference. So don't mark them out. They can still make the playoffs at 9-7. So all you New Orleans Saints fans, don't be scared. Remember, they made the playoffs last year. Had to play Carolina. They beat Carolina 3 times last year. So on and so forth. Carolina fans were all upset. New Orleans fans loves it. But beside the point, this year I got them in third at 9-7. Finishing second in that division, I have the Atlanta Falcons. As we all know, Matt Ryan just got paid. He got a $30 million contract a year, $150 million, and only $100 guaranteed. $100 million guaranteed contract. He got paid, folks. I think he's going to have his hands full, though, this year. I mean, they got an awesome wide receiving core. They have, everybody knows, Julio Jones out of Alabama. They drafted another wide receiver out of Alabama in Calvin Ridley. They have Mohamed Sanu. They have Austin Hooper at tight end. They got an awesome backfield. You got Dwight. You have Devontae Freeman, and you have Tevin Coleman. What? Indiana kid, just letting you guys know. So they got all that figured out right there on that part of the ball. I don't think they have any problem scoring points. I'll tell you that right now. Plus, the defensive side looks pretty good as well. But I think they finished second. I mean, they start in Philly, at Philly, on a Thursday night. That's what kicks off the season. I got them to win that game. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I got them to win that game in a squeaker. Then Carolina travels to them. Then they got the Saints, then the Bengals, and the Steelers. So there's one game in there that might be able to take a breather on. That'd be the Bengals. But I think those in-conference games against Carolina and the Saints are going to be tough in week 2 and 3. So I got them starting off the season pretty rough. I got them making the playoffs. Not a first-round bye. I got them set in a wild card division, maybe the 3 or the 4. I got them at 10-6. So I got them at 10-6. And this one here is one that people are probably going to be a little upset on and call me a homer because all this is shot out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Just so everybody knows, that's our home studio. I got the Carolina Panthers going 11-5. I have to do it. And everybody says, why? Well, there's not been a back-to-back winner in this division since Carolina's done it. That's the last team to do it. We all know who won it last year. It wasn't Carolina. And I think they're going to do it. So Carolina wins this division, I think, because they did not do it last year. We won't have a repeat winner. I think Carolina does it. They drafted an awesome new wide receiver, DJ Moore. They got Newton still in the backfield. You still got Luke. You still got Luke Kuechly. And then you also got Christian McCaffrey. My favorite player in the NFL. I think he's a great player, Christian McCaffrey. He bulked up big. He put on 10 pounds of muscle this year, and they've also said they're going to increase his workload. His workload is going to be fantastic. They're going to make him work probably, they said, around 200 times this year. They're going to get him in between the tackles, and they're going to line him up in some weird formations. Excuse me. I watched a couple of their layouts that they do. It's awesome. It's fantastic. What they'll do is they'll run the ball with him and they'll jump him out in the slot and they'll run a screen on an out route or they'll run him on a post route to the inside, and it's beautiful. If they run that and can execute that during the year, it's going to be fantastic because you'll be able to use Christian McCaffrey in all kinds of forms of it. Plus, the defense is still there. You got Julius Peppers, Kawan Short still there, and Lou Kuechly plus Shaq Thompson. I think you're fine there. Defense looks good. So, plus you got a new offensive coordinator who we all know has made big gains along his career, done a lot of good things in Norv Turner. You can come in here and teach Cam how to sling that football. That's what Cam needs. Cam needs somebody to teach him how to throw the football the correct way. Cam's got a cannon of an arm. He likes to launch it or take off running. His mid-game and his short game, not so strong. I think Norv tries to work on that, make it better. I think that takes it to the next level. I think Carolina wins this division, baby. That's right. Carolina wins the division. Yes, I love it. That's why I'm so excited, because Carolina is going to look good, and that's only a one-game race as well. Like I said, they're going to be tight races in the South divisions. They are going to be very, 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 very close. So just to recap here, I know this is episode 4, so I'm going to recap all of the divisions real quick and who all I've got as all the winners. AFC West, I got the Chargers winning that division at 10-6. The NFC West, I got the Rams winning 11-5. The AFC North, I got the Steelers winning 11-5. I got the NFC North, I got the Packers going 13-3. Aaron Rodgers is going to look good this year. They're going to look good. So I got them going 13-3 with the best record in the NFL. Then I got the AFC East. I have the Pats winning at 12-4. The NFC East, I got the defending Super Bowl champions going 12-4 as well. Then we go back to the South, what we just talked about here on episode 4, the AFC South. I got the Colts winning it after Andrew Luck comes back after missing 2 years, going 10-6. And then the one I'm most excited about, this conference here is stacked with football teams. The NFC South with Carolina winning 11-5. And with that being said, this is the 4th episode of the predictions of this NFL. So make sure you check out all the episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4. Comment below on any of them and let me know what you guys think. And I appreciate you guys watching this prediction of the 2018 NFL season with me, Jimmy Red. See you guys.